Mastering yourself, the foundation of all Stoic power. If you really think about it, almost every problem we have in life comes down to this: trying to control things that were never ours to control in the first place. That's why so many people burn out, why they get stuck, why they feel trapped in cycles of frustration, anxiety, and anger. They waste their precious energy fighting things they were never meant to manage. People's opinions, circumstances, outcomes, all things outside of their circle of influence. And in doing so, they lose control of the one thing that truly matters: themselves. Stoicism teaches something brutally simple. You don't control the world. You control your mind. And within that simple truth lies a lifetime of power, peace, and freedom. Control what you can, release what you can't. Let's start here. At the core of every Stoic teaching is this principle: focus only on what's in your control, release the rest. You don't control how people treat you. You don't control the economy, the weather, or the traffic on the freeway. You don't control how someone reacts or whether they understand you. But you do control your actions. You control your thoughts. You control the energy you give or don't give to anything that crosses your path. And when you finally embrace this, truly embrace it, life becomes lighter. The weight of things you were never meant to carry, gone. Replaced with clarity, with stillness, with strength. It's not about giving up. It's about choosing wisely where your energy goes. That's how you win long term. Not by controlling the world, but by controlling your reaction to it. See obstacles as opportunities. Every person you admire, every leader, thinker, entrepreneur, artist, they've all had one thing in common. They learned to turn adversity into advantage. They learned to see the obstacle as the path. Marcus Aurelius said it best: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The job loss, the breakup, the rejection, the failure, all of these things feel catastrophic in the moment. But they are not ends. They are invitations. Invitations to grow, to adapt, to become more resilient, more creative, more focused. Every obstacle holds within it the seed of transformation. If you're willing to stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What can I learn here?" The Stoics didn't fear hardship. They welcomed it. Because they understood the people who run from challenge run from growth. And the people who lean into challenge evolve faster than anyone else. Live fully in the present. We waste so much life living in places we can't touch anymore. Regretting the past, worrying about the future, obsessing over scenarios that might never happen, reliving conversations we should have ended years ago. And all the while, the only moment we truly have slips by unnoticed. The present, right now. Stoicism anchors you here. It reminds you the past is unchangeable. The future is unknowable. All you ever really have is this breath, this choice, this step. Live in it, work in it, rest in it, forgive in it, love in it, decide in it. When you practice presence, anxiety loses its grip. When you practice presence, life slows down just enough for you to savor it again. And you stop missing the moments that actually matter. Mindfulness isn't just a buzzword, it's a survival tool. It's how you reclaim your peace in a world addicted to distraction. Train emotional discipline. Here's something no one really teaches you growing up. Your emotions aren't facts. They're feedback, they're signals, not commands. But most people live at the mercy of whatever feeling passes through them. Anger shows up, they explode. Fear creeps in, they run. Ego feels threatened, they lash out. Stoicism offers another way, a way where you pause, where you breathe, where you let the emotion rise, observe it, and then choose your response, not react blindly. Emotional discipline doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you don't get owned by what you feel. Think of it like this. Your mind is the captain. Your emotions are the waves. You don't control the ocean, but you can learn to steer. And how do you train this? Start small. When you're irritated, breathe slower. When you feel defensive, pause before you reply. When you want to escape discomfort, sit with it just a little longer. Journaling helps too. Writing out what triggered you, why it triggered you, and how you'd like to handle it next time builds self-awareness. And self-awareness is the foundation of emotional strength. Because the person who can stay calm when everyone else is losing their minds, that's the person who leads. That's the person who wins. Why this matters. So why are we talking about this? Why does it matter? Because this is how real transformation starts. Not by changing your job, not by changing your partner, not by moving cities or chasing trends. It starts inside, with the quiet decision to master yourself, with the commitment to control your reactions, not the world, with the practice of seeing hardship as your greatest teacher, with the choice to live here now, not somewhere in a past you can't fix or a future you can't predict. When you live this way, something shifts. You stop chasing, you stop comparing, you stop needing validation, because you realize peace isn't something you find out there, it's something you build in here. That's the foundation. That's where all Stoic power begins, and it's yours, if you're willing to choose it. Reframing life's challenges from fear to freedom. You've probably heard it said that life is pretty much what happens to you and 90% how you respond. Stoicism takes this even further. It's not just how you respond, it's how you interpret. It's how you frame the experiences life throws at you. And most importantly, it's about reframing your relationship with discomfort, uncertainty, and even death itself, because real freedom doesn't come from a perfect life. It comes from a powerful mindset. Memento mori. Remember death, live better. It might sound morbid, but the Stoics embrace death, not as something to fear, but as something to focus their lives around. Memento mori. Remember you will die. Why? Because when you truly grasp the reality that time is finite, your priorities sharpen. You stop wasting time on meaningless arguments. You stop postponing the things that light you up. You stop letting fear hold you back. Because you realize none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. This isn't about living recklessly, it's about living intentionally. Ask yourself, if I had a year left, how would I spend it? If I had a month left, what would really matter? If I had a week left, who would I forgive? What would I let go of? What would I no longer tolerate? That's the power of remembering death. It wakes you up to the life you still have, and it pushes you to live it fully, with gratitude, with presence, with courage. Gratitude as an antidote to anxiety. Gratitude is more than just a practice, it's a perspective. And when life feels overwhelming, gratitude brings you back to center. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that no matter how chaotic the world becomes, there is always something to be thankful for. Health, a breath, a sunrise, a quiet moment of peace. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance. It reminds you that what you have is already enough, and that contentment isn't found in acquiring more. It's found in appreciating what's here. Want a simple practice? Every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Not big, grand things. The small stuff, the cup of coffee, the warm blanket, the silence before the world wakes up. Over time, this rewires your brain. It teaches you to look for the good, not the missing. And when your default is gratitude, anxiety loses its grip. Strive for personal excellence, not comparison. Social media has convinced an entire generation to measure themselves against everyone else's highlight reel. But Stoicism cuts through the noise with one simple truth. Excellence is personal. You are not here to outshine others. You are here to outgrow yourself. Your path is yours. Your timing is yours. Your growth is yours. The Stoics believed in living by your own internal code, not chasing trends, not seeking approval, but holding yourself to your own highest standard. So ask yourself, what does excellence look like for me? What principles do I refuse to compromise? What kind of character am I building, day by day, choice by choice? Comparison is a distraction. Excellence is alignment. One drains you, the other elevates you. Stop caring what they think. If you want real peace, here's a harsh truth. You have to stop caring what they think. Not in a rebellious, angry way, but in a calm, liberated, grounded way. The Stoics knew this. People will always have opinions. They will misunderstand you. They will judge you through their own fears, biases, and insecurities. Let them, because they're thoughts about you, not your responsibility. Your responsibility is how you show up, how you live, how you stay true to your own path. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but we care more about their opinion than our own." Let that sink in. Your life is too short, your energy too precious to waste on pleasing those who will never truly understand you. Live by your values, stand by your integrity, and let people think whatever they want. Accept change as the only constant. If there's one universal truth the Stoics hammered home, it's this: everything changes, nothing stays the same. Seasons shift, people grow, circumstances evolve. And fighting change? That's the quickest path to suffering. Instead, learn to adapt, learn to flow, learn to pivot with grace, not resistance. Change isn't the enemy, attachment is. Attachment to how things used to be, attachment to certainty, attachment to comfort. The more you embrace change as part of life's natural rhythm, the less it shakes you, and the more resilient, flexible, and open you become. Because here's the truth: you don't control the waves, but you can learn how to surf. Why this perspective matters, you've probably noticed by now. Stoicism isn't just philosophy, it's a lens, a toolkit, a way of navigating life's storms without losing your center. When you remember death, you live more fully. When you practice gratitude, you reclaim joy. When you chase excellence, you rise above comparison. When you release people's opinions, you free yourself. And when you accept change, you find peace. These aren't abstract ideas, they're practices. They're choices you can make today, tomorrow, every day after. And slowly, quietly, they build a life rooted in strength, a mind fortified against chaos, a heart open to growth, a spirit unshaken by circumstance. Building your Stoic practice, from concept to daily habit. Knowing the principles is one thing. Living them, that's where real transformation happens. Stoicism isn't a philosophy you keep on a shelf or recite in clever quotes. It's a daily practice, a way of moving through the world with intention, clarity, and quiet strength. And the truth is, your daily habits, not your big plans, not your dramatic declarations, will shape the person you become. So the question becomes, how do you turn these Stoic ideas into practical, sustainable habits that transform your life from the inside out? Let's break it down. Practice compassion and empathy without weakness. It might surprise some people, but Stoicism isn't about being cold or disconnected. It's not about suppressing emotion or cutting people off to protect your peace. It's about choosing where and how you give your energy. And one of the most powerful ways to strengthen yourself is to understand others. Compassion and empathy aren't weaknesses, they're strengths, when practiced with boundaries. You don't need to fix everyone, you don't need to carry their burdens, but understanding where people are coming from helps you respond, not react. It helps you lead with calm instead of chaos. It helps you remain grounded when others are swept away by emotion. Empathy allows you to see clearly. Compassion reminds you we're all fighting battles no one else sees. But neither requires you to sacrifice your own well-being. Boundaries and kindness aren't opposites. They coexist. And mastering both is a mark of true inner strength. Reflect and review daily for growth. The Stoics believed deeply in self-reflection. Marcus Aurelius journaled daily, not to impress others, but to understand himself. Seneca wrote letters, not for fame, but for clarity. Self-review isn't about guilt. It's about awareness. It's about noticing the patterns that serve you and the ones that don't. Here's a simple practice. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did I live today aligned with my values? Where did I let ego, fear, or impulse guide me? What moments tested me, and how did I respond? How can I handle similar moments better tomorrow? This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Tiny course corrections made consistently over time and lead to massive internal shifts. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Without it, we repeat the same mistakes under different disguises. A simple daily Stoic routine. If you want to embody these principles, build them into your day. Small, consistent actions that become part of who you are. Here's a sample routine you can adapt. Morning clarity. Start with intention. Before the world's noise enters, ask yourself, what do I control today? Where will I direct my energy? How will I respond to inevitable challenges with calm? 3 minutes of breath work, a quiet coffee without distraction, a moment of visualization. Set the tone. Midday, observation pause halfway through your day. Notice your state. Are you reactive, calm, drifting into old patterns? What's triggering you? Where can you create space before responding? A short walk, a few deep breaths, a moment to recenter. Midday is a chance to reclaim control before the day runs away with you. Evening, reflection. End with gratitude and review. Write down 3 small wins. Write 1 lesson. Write 1 intention for tomorrow. Reflection doesn't need to be long, it needs to be honest. This cycle, clarity, observation, reflection, builds momentum. It trains your mind to lead, not follow. It turns awareness into habit. And over time, habit becomes character. How to stack these principles into a Stoic mindset. Think of Stoicism like a pyramid. Each principle builds on the next. At the base, control what you can, release what you can't. This grounds you. On top of that, embrace obstacles, accept change, live presently. This keeps you adaptable. Above that, pursue excellence, detach from opinions, practice gratitude. This refines your focus. Near the top, compassion, reflection, emotional discipline. This strengthens your relationships with others and with yourself. At the peak, memento mori. This sharpens your priorities, reminds you why any of this matters, keeps you humble, keeps you urgent, keeps you grounded. Why this matters more than ever. The modern world rewards loudness, speed, and reaction. But Stoicism reminds you strength isn't found in noise. It's found in silence, in patience, in mastering yourself while others lose themselves. When you build these habits, when you choose to live this way, you become untouchable in the best possible sense. Not because life stops testing you, but because you stop breaking under pressure. You move through life with clarity. You handle chaos without becoming it. You lead yourself before you try to lead others. And in a world chasing dopamine, validation, and approval, you become something rare. A person who doesn't need to prove anything. A person who doesn't react to everything. A person who doesn't crumble at the first sign of challenge. You become calm. You become clear. You become quietly, unshakably free. The Stoic life isn't a mere about removing pain or difficulty. It's about transforming how you meet them. With grace, with wisdom, with discipline. It's not about becoming someone who feels nothing. It's about becoming someone who owns everything they feel and chooses how to turn that feeling into something useful. You don't need to change the world to change your life. You just need to change how you see it and how you move through it. Quietly, patiently, deliberately, stoically.